Hola tribe. Welcome to the House of Kai. Today I'm going to do a medicine oracle read. Little check-in vibrationally. And see what direction we're going in. I feel like the past is been set aflame. Like all that once was is turning to ash. Yeah. Metamorphosis. We are choosing to hold on to what we choose to hold on to, or we can allow ourselves to simply let it all go and allow the path to unfold in front of us. Yeah. Such a profound time, reclaiming our personal strengths and powers within divinity and love. No longer being attached to what we once believed were our strengths and powers. I think many of us have been awoken. Some forced awakenings. I know I've had many forced awakenings on the journey. I think it's interesting that I love this phrase of God feeds us baby spoonfuls, right? Little tiny spoonfuls, little tiny spoonfuls. We think we're getting monumentous, like unbelievable information, like shake and rock your world information. And in God's world, that was a tiny itty bitty spoonful. It was like, hey, yo, digest that. Let's see how you do. Some people digest faster than others. You know, in my early days of my journey, I digested. It would take sometimes years, months, years to fully integrate some of the information and lessons that I had learned, and now it can take hours, days to digest huge, monumental downloads and energies and integrate them. It's always different. So as we are on this journey, I am feeling we are all digesting at the rate to which we are capable. It is up to each one of us to let go of the oh shit handle. I often think that when we're going through the process of faith and trust, when we grab that oh shit handle, right? Like, slow the process. Woo, how do I control this? The second we grab that oh shit handle, right? It slows down that tornado of energy and it becomes messier rather than allowing ourselves to be in the free-falling flow of the experience. I know that I am so guilty of doing that. On the journey. And truly allowing myself to be in this place of just fall. Just allowing oneself to fall graciously into the abyss. Being in that state of gratitude, knowing all is unfolding exactly as it's meant to. Being unattached to what we thought it was supposed to look like. However, holding on to the vibration of that which we are calling in or stepping into. Good. So, I don't think I said this yet, but if you have not subscribed, please like, share, and subscribe. And if you already are, thank you for joining me. Please feel free to add some comments and let me know. Ooh, very good, very good. Progress on the path. Yeah. Being present with the solace of the vibration, right? Interesting. Have you ever placed your forehead to another person's forehead? Have you ever allowed someone to kiss your forehead or drop your forehead to their chest or to an animal? There is this moment of peace and bliss that is experienced when one surrenders their third eye, their forehead to this experience. And I believe that is now the time, right? I believe that we are in a time that it is in our highest and truest selves to simply drop into the being that we are and allowing it to be reflected in the others we are engaging with, right? The essence of who we are right now to be experienced and reflected back to us, right? And again, knowing that nothing is permanent, this is a moment in time. There are many time-dimensional realities that being experienced simultaneously, you know? I recently spoke of someone who is in the early process of Alzheimer's, and their roommate was speaking of that this person had a vision, saying that they had a vision of something, and their roommate was like, it's insane, it's absolutely insane, how could they possibly be having that experience, right? And I said, you know what's really interesting about this world is that there are so many time-space realities taking place simultaneously. Who are you to say that their experience and what they saw in that moment wasn't true, right? It's a lot to take in. That's a lot to digest, to believe that which you are experiencing in this third dimensional reality can be and be perceived completely different than somebody standing next to you, than somebody that you're sharing space with, that you know and love, or anyone, that at any moment in time we are all having different realities being experienced, right? For those that don't, if you can't grasp that concept, I can understand that. It's a lot to grasp. However, there is no time-space continuum. There is no such thing as a time-space continuum. All time is happening simultaneously, right? So that which took place mostly in the 1800s or before Christ or whatever you want to go, any time period that you want to discuss, it is all happening simultaneously as if we were in a constant spiral, right? And so timelines can be collapsed. There are ways of collapsing them down and starting anew, starting afresh. Yeah. But knowing that your reality and the person next to you's reality may not be the same. It does not mean that they're crazy. It does not mean that there's something wrong with them. It simply means that their reality experience is something different of yours. Right? So realizing that progress on this journey is going to be different for each and every last one of us. Each and every last one of us is going to be experiencing this journey completely differently. Yeah. Can we accept and love that each being will find their own way? Right? Yeah. Crazy, crazy. Good. Let's see. Have any more shuffles? I'm hearing 2 more shuffles. I love shuffling cards. It's very meditative for me. Very, very meditative. One more. All right. Ooh, having me pull 2. Oh, perfect. Perfect. Exactly as we were speaking, right? We're in this renewal of oneself and allowing for this shift. Right. You know what I really love is if you look at these cards, they're not so much looking, it's like this is the feminine and this is the masculine. And, you know, is that even true? That's just how I'm seeing things at this moment is one is more of a feminine energy and the other is more of a masculine energy. And I'm seeing as this feminine is holding the light within herself, yet keeping an eye on the other. And the other really is incapable of being anywhere other than itself. Right? I feel like there's a reflection of loss happening in the rebirthing. You know, I've heard so many times that as women are going through the birthing process, as they're giving birth to children, there's this death that takes place within them. The experience brings them through so many emotional traumas. They literally see themselves dying and they experience death while simultaneously knowing that they're birthing a new life. This level of complexity. Anyone who's ever gone through what is referred to as a dark night of the soul, it is an ego death, right? There is a death of oneself that takes place. And it's messy. It's seriously messy. You often feel like you're going insane. Like, how can one human being have this many emotions simultaneously being experienced? You know, being told that they are the greatest thing ever and then being told they're a piece of shit at the same time. And you're going through so many different layers of emotions and none of it's true. None of it's true. It's just this layers of skin and cells being shed from the being. It's no less scary. The dying off process of one's ego is no less scary. allowing that which we've identified ourselves with to die off of us, right? That's usually when we grab that oh shit handle. Who would I be without this title or identification, right? So many people in the last year alone have lost their jobs, right? And they've all identified with that job or the title or the income or that which the job provided them, having to go through the ego death without attaching to it being the fault of this disease or the government, or it's nobody's fault. It's nobody's fault. It's an experience. That is all, right? It's easy to blame the virus. It's easy to blame the government. It's easy to blame family and neighbors and loved ones. It's so easy to blame. It has nothing to do with any of that. It's merely an experience. Who would you be without that identification, without that title, right? In that process, we go through an ego death, and in that ego death, we come out anew. We come out reborn to something other than the being that we once were. And it can get messy. Feels like you're going crazy, right? You're grabbing those shit handles, and it's like, you know, it's in that birthing part of the womb, right? You're going through the canal, and you're about to be born, and you're reaching and reaching and reaching and reaching, and like, I mean, allow yourself to drop in for a second and think for a moment what the experience of a baby must be. You had it. You might not have exact direct memory of it. I'm having an internal laugh right now because there's so many babies that are being born these days, and it breaks my heart that so many people are not allowing childbirth to be natural, that they're actually booking time to have a C-section, which is there's a reason the child was created to go through the birthing canal. It is one of the first hurdles of life they must undertake, right? Every human being must develop a level of fortitude, and that fortitude is originally created through the birthing canal. There's a reason and a purpose for it. So witnessing all these people wanting to bring their children through the C-section process because the doctors have communicated that it is in their best interest for whatever BS reason. It's all insurance and it's all money and it's BS. What they're actually doing is creating weak human beings who have lacked the fortitude to go through experiences of trauma in order to come out the other side. So, in this birthing process, so even if you were a C-section, if you were a book C-section, that is what it is. If you were an accidental C-section, was what had to take place, it is what it is. I was. There was a process for me. The whole process took longer, and I had to go through a C-section. So there are times that it serves, yet taking that away from the infant and not allowing that to be determined within the moment, I do believe is creating weak human beings. So, allow yourself for a moment to imagine what that experience must be for a child. What that must be like for the baby as it's going through the birthing canal. How scary that must be, right? How petrifying that must be to have everything you once identified with, all your comforts, all your safeties, be quickly removed from you, and you're going through a process of pressure and contraction and space, and you're just going through like this big breathing pattern in order to come out a dark canal and out the other side, right? Where no longer can you identify with this safe place, and no longer are you breathing water, you're learning to breathe air. It's a completely different process. Excuse me, I dropped a card. So this shifting into a renewal, it came up like this. This shifting into our renewal is the birthing process. Oh wow, I'm loving it. So now I'm actually seeing that this is like the canal, right? This is the soul coming through the canal into this great manifestation of a shift. Wow. Isn't that interesting? Isn't that interesting to allow ourselves to drop into that which we are experiencing, right? Truly is the birthing process. This is all. The new earth has been born, however, not every soul has stepped forth and to claim this new earth. And to discover what it is. What magic are we about to create here? And accepting that this is magic. No longer living in the illusion, I guess I would like to, the Disney illusion, right? I'm gonna pop that bubble. Allow ourselves to integrate all of those archetypes that have been created and choose love, right? Choose love. No longer having to stay in an archetype because it makes you feel as if you're in a place of power or need, Goodness me, that there's so many different archetypes from the Disney movies. Like, you get the damsel in distress, right? How often you get the damsel in distress. Or you have the, the young boy who doesn't want to grow up and be a man so often. You have the rescuers, you have the evil ones, you know what I mean, who are trying to take over or, come in between love. How about we simply love? How about we simply love? And see where that brings us. See where it brings us. Don't think I'm not nervous either, You never know what's on the other side. Yet if you choose to maneuver and claim the love within you and hold on to that love within you, right? So notice in this card, right, she has this beam of light, shuffling these others. So she has the light here within herself. She's holding that light through the womb. She's holding that light inside of her as she moves through to the other side. You're gonna keep that light with you. Don't let it go. Don't let that light go. Keep it with you as you move through the birthing process. And you'll always have it. You'll always have it. Good, good. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. What else do we need to know? What else do we need to know? Nice. Ooh, cultivation. Cultivation. Oh, I really love that. Noticing as Ganusha is playing his musical instrument here and his little buddy, he has his favorite little buddy, which is a rat, appears to be holding space or dancing with him, right? Like enjoying the music. He's cultivating happiness. He's cultivating joy. He is cultivating that which he's holding on to, that which he chooses, like that light, right? He is cultivating to the depths of who he is. You know, I really love that we would assume, right, cultivation means like something outside of us, right? Creating from a place outside of us. I'm almost seeing like gardening or doing something, creating something that is outside in order to cultivate, right? That's not what this is showing us at all. Cultivation is from within us. It's an expression of oneself. It's an expression of the light. The true cultivation of oneself is an expression of who they are. They don't have to do anything or be anything other than themselves, other than the essence of themselves. And that is their true cultivation. Right? So as we step in and move through this womb, move through this birthing process, coming out the other side, we will be cultivating to the essence of who we are. Right? No longer needing to create from a place of industry is what is being shown to me. It's like the old school way of having to identify ourselves through our work or through something outside of us, anything outside of us, versus actually cultivating based off of the essence of who we are. What a cool place to be, right? So that brings me back to, I often speak of the purification of the waters, purifying one's waters. And the more we purify the energy within ourselves, identify where we are at peace, where we are calm, where we have resistance, where there's lack of flow. Excuse me. The more we do this level of purification of the essence of ourselves, the more we create from this place of purity versus this place of thinking we have to, or thinking there's lack of any form, right? Thinking that you're less than or that you require something outside of you in order to be completed, right? How often I witness those, and I'm sure you know of them as well. You yourself might be this person, and I may have been this person at one point in time. I would not deny this for a second. Actually, I can guarantee I was probably this person at one point in time on my journey. And so it's not with judgment, it's an awareness that there are a lot of people out there that require someone else outside of them to fulfill them. They require another human being to feed off of their energy to feel fulfilled, to feel worthy, right? Rather than realize the essence of who they are is so beautiful. That there is no need to be with or leech off of another being in order to have worth or be fulfilled. Yeah. The more fulfilled we are within ourselves without the need, want, or desire for another human being to walk that path with us, to fulfill us for anything, you know? That there is no lack. So the less we create from a place of need or want or desire, the more fulfilled we will be from within, right? The less we will need of others. And that when we do share time with others, it'll be quite joyful, right? It'll be inspired, it'll be divinely guided, it'll be passionate, right? Wild. Yeah. All right, one last shuffle. Nope, Dean told two more shuffles. Two more shuffles. I love it, I love it, I love it. So good. Good. Nice. Oh, I love it. Isn't that perfect? So strength, which is absolutely what is required of us right now, and expression. Expression. How fantastic is that? The strength. Look at this. Moving through, right? Look at this. Moving to the womb. Moving through that portal. Moving through without attachments. Look at this pure light coming out of the darkness. Emerging. Pure strength, pure essence of oneself in order to come out the other side. Noticing all these different animals and creatures and yeah. I mean, there are just so many multitudes of animals that are in this coven, in this cave-like, right? The womb energy that is being shown here. So truly this beautiful energy being born through strength, right? And then coming out from this place of expression. What I love is that it's like you can see the multi-dimensional colors of this being shining through its heart, yet kind of drawn back, not fully coming out, allowing themselves to be a little hidden, being a little, looking, right? Owning their being, right? Keeping the energy within their vessel, right? So that the expression can come alive. Truly, the expression can come alive. Yeah. And again, even this energy, it's as if it's coming directly out of the womb. Excuse me. Absolutely beautiful. So today's, pardon me. Today is all about the progression of the path, moving forward and coming into this new level of expression through this birthing canal. We are being born. We are being born anew, and allowing ourselves to cultivate from the essence of ourselves, right? To truly cultivate from the essence of ourselves. Ooh. What does it even look like, right? What does it even look like? I think this year alone, most of us have, gotten our ass kicked in different ways. There's so many different ways. Many of the people I know literally will say that it's not that which took place on a society level that affected them the most. It was the uncovering of all these wounds and pains and delusions that we were living in. It had nothing to do with, excuse me, the virus or the work or any of that, or governmental, or any of that BS, right? Any of that outside energy trying to distract us from what was really happening on the inside, which was all these layers of skin that needed to be shed from ourselves so that we could truly be reborn into the new essence of who we are. This shift was happening whether people wanted it to happen or not. This shift was being planned on a universal level for a very long time. For a very, very long time. And so there were many people who were already in the process, going through that birthing canal, ripping off layers and layers and layers in order to make this happen. And there are others who, they were forced out the birthing canal. And they were forced to do the work in order to become anew. And then there are definitely some that have not fully made it through right now and will be shaken because of it. Yet, as I said earlier, there's no time, space, dimensional reality. All timelines have the ability to collapse upon themselves, and depending on the human being or where they're at, they can keep all those timelines separate and they can make it seem very superficial. And that's okay too, right? We're all gonna see and witness and perceive it from the reality space that we can handle. There's nothing wrong with that, it just is. I think I'm going to end this video today with a comment, and today I believe that this may be the medicine of the day. This piece of it right here is that years ago I was seeing a woman for healing. I would go to her and we would have beautiful discussions, similar to how I actually do my work too, is discuss. What is the spirit experiencing, right? What is this being experiencing? And we would have these discussions. And afterwards she would do some work on me, be put on a table, play crystal bowls, deep healing energy work, right? I love her, love her, love her. Thank you, Beth. If anyone ever wants to know of her, she's magical, and she's up in Massachusetts. And she looked at me one day and she says, would you be mad at the mentally weak? Would I be, I don't want to say the word that's coming to mind right now because I don't want to insult people. I don't see it as insulting because it's not directly intended. Handicap, we'll go with handicap. That's the word I needed. Thank you. Would I be mad at the mentally handicapped? But I said, no, I'm not going to be mad at the mentally handicapped. But why would I be mad at the mentally handicapped? She goes, so why are you so angry at the spiritually handicapped? And I realized in that moment that we're all handicapped somewhere. Every human being has some level of handicap, right? Or stunted somehow. And so, are they emotionally handicapped? Are they spiritually handicapped? Are they mentally handicapped? And that can appear at all different levels and ways. It doesn't have to fit within a category of the medical institutions, right? It just has to fit in the energetic vibration of how these beings are showing up. So when you look around you and see and get angry with people, allow yourself to drop in and ask, do you need to be upset with somebody who is emotionally handicapped or spiritually handicapped or mentally handicapped? They may not appear to be mentally handicapped like we would want to put within that category. However, it doesn't mean that they're not if they're incapable of absorbing truth, if they're incapable of absorbing true reality, right? Higher dimensional true reality. Then there's a level of mental handicap, and that's okay. It is absolutely okay. Welcome. My little one just joined us. So, I pray this message met you well. Allow for yourself to move through this womb, owning the strength of who you are. Hold true to the essence of who you are. Hold true to the essence of who you are. And you will come out holding that essence. And you'll have the ability to express who you wish to be from there. What a beautiful gift. What an absolutely beautiful gift. Tribe, I thank you for joining me today, and I hope this message has received you well. I love you. Mwah. Peace out, tribe.